G'day friends, welcome to the very last Collage Club set of printables. This is August 2025. I got 11 sheets in front of me today, so let's just jump into it. These are all available on Collage Club right now. Please download everything. Teachable will be closing technically in November. I'm saying if you leave it till September, that's kind of risking it, only because I will be turning off the subscription, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't cease access until the subscription run out in November. But realistically, I'm kind of wrapping up all of your ability to get in contact with me business-wise, especially because our Etsy sale just happened and all of that stuff is gone now. So I really don't have much to be like hanging around for business-wise, JLB creative-wise. So if you need any help, I would rather you did all of this very, very soon so that I'm around to help you, because I'm going to Australia soon, and then I'll be bouncing in and out of other things before I leave, and it just will be so hard to get in contact with me and to get any help from me. So that's really the only reason, but make sure you download it all to your personal computer so you'll have access to it once Teachable closes. We are doing our Teachable sale. I think I'm going to do a whole other video talking about how we've wrapped everything up, because I want to flip my Virtual Voyage 10 journal for you as well. Most of the stuff in here is from Virtual Voyage 10. We looked back at literally the past decade of my art journal journey from 2015 to now, and it was such a wild trip. So intense, so full of content. We actually had people get through the entire amount of content as well, which I think is a first. I don't know if anyone's ever gotten through one of those workshops, myself included. I get through it, but there have been a few things that I've suggested people do that I don't necessarily do in my journal. So the entirety of the whole thing, this has been huge and overwhelming, and I'm just really, really impressed with everything that I saw. So I wanted to give access to these last bits of everything I've got to offer with my art journaling and get them into your journals. There are also some pages back here that have been in progress over time. If you remember, I said a while ago, the way I work with Collage Club is I'll just take stuff that I'm doing, scan it all the time, scan everything, and then if it falls into a theme, like a while ago I had a lot of Coco stuff, this is from old Virtual Voyage stuff, and it just kind of fell into a theme. So I put a page together, and then before you know it, a whole page is ready, and then I slot it into Collage Club. This would be more appropriate around October or November for Day of the Dead celebrations, and kind of coincides with that theme. This Halloween-y stuff more belongs to, the Augusts, the Septembers, the Octobers. But because we're finishing, I just figured I'd put it all in here now. I wanted you to have access to every last little bit that I had left. So it's a bit odd. There's a collection of stuff in here that doesn't necessarily fit a theme, but we'll just go through it. Here are a lot of the mix and match. I did a flip book in my journal, and I just love them. These were, I think they're the 2017 journal girls. The aesthetic was very 2017 art journaling for JLB Creative. Loved that. Collage and illustration tags here as well. I've done a little bit of a different thing, because sometimes I didn't know what I should do, like what the cut line should be. If you're someone that uses the silhouette file, this is just the cut line of the outline. However, you could slice it across and mix and match them yourself. This is literally only if you're using the silhouette. But this one, I didn't cut out the tag. I just cut out the picture, because I didn't really want the whole tag in the image. I just wanted those little pictures. So cut lines are a little bit funky in some of these things. More of the collage and illustration stuff. These were just other random little samples I did. Daisies, stamp and illustration. I took the red line work out, so these are the actual illustrations without the red line work. I think that's kind of fun. I don't think I showed you that on the course, but I do remember explaining, like, that is what I'll take out, so that I've got the base under there, but you're really only left with the illustration. So now you get to see what it looks like all finished. Loved them. So intense. Anyway, we did this on live stream. Loved her. She's a combination of a few different things. There's a lot of little Luca illustrations from my sketch flicks, which surprisingly went along with some of the other stuff that I had left. I had another Luca thing somewhere, I feel like. There's a little Luca illustration back here, so I thought that was funny that after all these months of not using that sheet, it still tied in somehow. Lots of samples that I did from lessons as well. I like to give you the finished pieces, but also the working pieces. Just a bit of a mix. This Wednesday Addams, she's got a really unusual cut line. I would try and do the whole image, but I was trying to pack everything on here. I don't like to have a lot of negative space wasted. And I also like everything on the page to be useful. I mean, I guess that's relative. Is that useful to people? I don't really know. I really like it, and I would definitely use it because this one was actually the little version of Steve. This is the Steve Sea Monster. So maybe it's only useful to me, but you know, technically I would try and give you a big square cutout of that on the page. If you're tech savvy, there's nothing to stop you from just selecting this image and putting it onto a separate paper to print out if you really wanted to be able to cut it out as a frame of an image. But for now, she's just kind of stuck in the page there. More sample pieces. Loved these Madame Butterfly fashion illustrations, working with those mood boards. We did a lot of lessons. Looking back on it, I think I did too many lessons. For me, I know you guys enjoyed it, but I think I was so wrapped up in the whole, it has to be the most impressive because it's the last time. And I always do believe that. I'm always trying to do more and the most. But I look back and I was like, why did I have to do like 10 of these lessons and 5 of these lessons? Even when I did the size thing, I was like, I could have just done small, medium, and large, but I did tiny, small, medium, large, and jumbo. Like that's 5 videos instead of 3. So everything just, I felt like I packed in more and more, which is obviously what made more of the content. Even these mashup lessons, I could have just done 2 or 3, or mashed them all up even more than just 2, because we'd end up being 5 of those too. It was just a little nuts. I'm sure you enjoyed having the extra content, but I did look back at it when I was exhausted at the end and thought, you really have to stop. And now I am. So you know what, it was a good last push anyway, but very happy for the content nonetheless. Steve colored in this fairy. These were the redraws that I did from Gren's coloring book. Love her. I think so many people did such a great version of her. She was one of the mashups as well. Daisy, mashups, Daisy, lots of Daisy stuff. Obviously, we love her around here. This was the size lesson, the one little kind of template that we were using to inspire us, and then the way that it shifted creatively when we worked in different sizes and formats, even with different paper. Obviously, you know, you're going to approach a mixed media journal a little bit differently than you'd approach something that can't handle wet media very well. So I thought it was important to kind of touch on that, because I think one of the things that really stretched me in my art journaling and really opened up my mind to how different parts of my creativity unlocks in different ways is obviously changing up a lot of the supplies, because you kind of creative problem solving through different experiences. But the size and the format and the paper, like really all of those things, once you change those variables, it altered the process. And if you were open to it, you would discover that, oh, maybe I'm not so afraid of working a lot bigger, or maybe I just love teeny tiny little journals. Maybe I am that fussy. And I also didn't even realize this until a couple of years in, I think, that a lot of what I chose was a good format for a screen, because an A5 would fill the frame pretty easily, and working on something that was a square would kind of leave more of the sides of the frame. You'd have to zoom a bit further out. Also, working on something vertical, you would even have to zoom further out. So literally, if it fit in the frame better, I tend to prefer that kind of a journal. But now that I won't be making a lot of content surrounded journal, I mean, I got over that, believe me, but but it was a factor. It was why I ended up buying and using a lot of A5 journals, when I don't know if that was particularly my favorite size, because now I'm super into 8.5 by 11, 9 by 12. I do love all the space. I love my jumbo journals, which are like 14 inches wide, 14 inches tall, 16 to 18 inches sometimes. Like, they're huge because I love all that real estate. So very interesting. And I think even a more interesting part is when you put them onto a collage sheet like this and you do shrink them all back down, they're all about the same size now, but they feature various levels of detail, because these ones were done huge and shrunk down, so the texture looks different, the line work, the line weight looks different than the ones that were done small. And if you blew this up really big, it would be really hard to achieve something like this that has a pencil texture in the line work. I mean, you'd have to use a jumbo-sized crayon pencil to mimic that at that scale, that size. So there's always an interesting thing. I know I'm on a tangent, but I love to chat. That was why I think it was useful, even though I did too much, to have those 5 different lessons to really just show, even the way how the process changed from illustration to collage when I got to a bigger journal because I had more space. I felt more free to put bigger pieces of ephemera in my journal that I don't necessarily feel in a passport size. It's too small. It bulks up. It's just not what I want to do. It's not what you have to do. I mean, some people do manage to collage in tiny journals, but yeah, you learn a lot about yourself when you start to switch it all up. But that's just a tangent. Live lesson. This is one of our Whoville. We did like a summer Christmas version. So there's ice cream, watermelons. Those are supposed to be beach balls, but they do look like peppermints. It's kind of a clever crossover anyway, really. Candy canes, light bulbs, a little star on top of the ice cream. And I lightly tinted her blonde hair with the colors. You can kind of see it in here, but it was very light. Just working through finding a different holiday for that little lesson. I think we did this years ago. But I did some Halloween ones, and they were actually, I like the Halloween ones better, but the live lesson was Christmas in July, so I felt guilty for making it about Halloween, especially because we had already done a Halloween one, but I think the Halloween ones are really fun. I don't think they're in here, though. I don't think I put any of the working stuff in here. This was all course stuff, not the working. But you might see them online. I might share them around Halloween time. You can have a go at them then. There's My Little Sea Monster, another fairy from Gran's coloring book. These two I redrew. Did some Copic marker and pencil. Really pretty. Now, oh, this was a little logo from the PopMart box, the Gorals. This was a page in 10. These were 10-minute lessons, one from each year. I just find it so interesting to look at it because each one takes me back. Like, it takes me back to a really specific time. This doesn't even feel like, this feels kind of new to me. This was one of the first things I did, like, back in my early YouTube days. So I can't even believe this. Why does this feel more recent to me than this does? But she's a product of the Tim Burton exploration that we'd done. Anyway, some Christmas tree, mixed media Christmas trees, some daisy mannequins, lots of fun stuff there. This is the box that I like the illustrations on this. I just kind of wanted to share. This was like a PopMart box. I did a pop-up version for Virtual Voyage 10 and made my own illustrations. I always said that this specific style that I was drawing would be what I would create if I could design a PopMart toy, like a line of those blind boxes. And so I ended up making it as if we actually did it. And I did like a paint version because I thought that is very art journaling. And we ended up looking at that in the Abandoned Daisy style workshop lessons that I brought back. You know, the workshop that I abandoned? I brought 2 of the lessons back. And technically we had touched on the other ones as well, but yeah, I was happy that came back. Stamp and illustration stuff. See, this one has the red line work in it. The other one doesn't. I like having the line work in this one because you can see how the illustration was built on top of it. Even if you look really closely and you see how the eyes and the stamp are up here, but the eyes that I drew had moved down. If you did the lesson, I don't know how many people actually did that lesson because I only saw a few samples of it, which is fine. You do not have to show your work with me. But if that is something you skipped out on in Virtual Voyage 10, I would really recommend you go and spend some time with that video because that is the most in-depth I've ever gone into that process, and I think it really does unlock the secret to why I love drawing over the stamps and how that happens. And I think from what I saw, the people that did share it, people got a really good grasp on that. So I don't know, hopefully it was effective and people got something out of that, but I really felt like that was worth noting, especially I think because I'm just shipping so many stamp sets out, like all of the stamp sets are sold now, and I'm imagining them going to all these new homes, and I'm thinking, I hope you really know how much fun you can have with these, because the one thing I'm really upset that I can't take with me is all my stamps. It's not feasible. I have 2 binders full of the stamps. I need to take the pads, I need to take the acrylic blocks. It's just going to be a whole mess. I can't do all that. I've even tried to think maybe I can just take a couple, maybe I'll just take a small little travel set. And you know what, I might still do that, but I will miss my stamp sets a lot. I love drawing over the top of those. This was kind of the big culmination of the old meets new, the revisiting of the whole thing. I took something that I would have wanted to try and draw back in 2015 that now I have the skills and understanding to do. And I think this She really represents so much. I'm getting like goosebumps a little bit. She really represents the whole journey. I get really sentimental and like there's an interesting feeling I have looking at this particular image. So yeah, really love her. Next, this was one of those in progress pages, so you got a lot of Coco stuff here from Virtual Voyage 4? Yes, 4. The Lamplight Cruise. It was Pixar themed. We did a whole Coco week, so I love all that. Anyway, this was also some art journaling the magic sketches that I had done, working out some faces that I might want to use that were very cute and simple. Just put those sketches in there for you. This is a bit Halloween-y. I mean, we are kind of getting towards the seasons. There's a couple of Halloween pages here, but this one was in progress. This one was, I love her. She was the beginning of that PopMart style that I've been talking about, that I use quite frequently now. The skeletons, I think a lot of this was done around Halla Workshop time last year. I do love the Halla Workshop too. A little bit sad not to be doing version 2 of that, but I'm sure I'll draw up a storm on the cruise ship. Actually, I won't even be on the cruise ship then. I'll be in rehearsals. So maybe I'll get some time to do some Halloween art journaling. I don't even know what I'll do. It's so weird to not think, like, whatever. You've already heard how I feel about everything, but it is kind of strange to be thinking of content that I might make, but I'm not going to. I've just been trained to think about what I'm going to create and how I'm going to share it and how exciting that is, but I still can share it. It's just, you know, I don't have to. It's just all whatever now. Anyway, life goes on. This is, yeah, all Halloween stuff. Anyway, move on from that. I guess I just gave myself an emotion. This is more of the Virtual Voyage 10 stuff, mixed with some other things too. Like, this is just all random illustrations. These were bits and bobs from that, just the leftover stuff. This Daisy, I think, is so pretty. This was the head from the doll, the paper doll. This was Stampin' Illustration stuff. Her original colors were so fluorescent and neon. I loved them, but there's only so much you can do when you're translating that in the scans. And I wanted the scan, not the photo, because I just felt like, yeah. Either way, it was too high. It was just so much fluorescent hot coral. It doesn't even really translate that well in a photo, to be honest. But she still looks pretty. I think the only reason I think it's kind of wrong is because those aren't the exact colors. But I still think she looks pretty there. One day, I bet as soon as I've stopped Collage Club, they come out with a fluorescent scanner and some printer ink that prints glitter. And I'll just be on the ship and I won't be able to get it. I wouldn't put it past me to order a printer to the ship though, to be honest. Lots of little sketches from everything. And this was a page that I think I had put together last year, but I was like, oh, I'll save it for next Halloween because I already had enough. But a lot of this is from my 5-year journal. In fact, I think every single bit of it is from my 5-year journal. And this looks like some Tim Burton Virtual Voyage 8 stuff as well. I love these black and white sketchy monster looking things. But yeah, this is a lot of Burtonville too. The witches, that Beetlejuice thing, that Margaret Keane crossover. He popped up out of nowhere. But again, all from my 5-year journal. Oh, and then Forky popped up out of nowhere. And this mermaid. So those are probably the only 3 things that aren't Halloween-y on here. Even her. I remember these from years ago. Bride of Frankenstein. So that is page 11, 10, 987654321, obviously. There are silhouette cut files as well. Please download everything. This is the last month of Collage Club. I will stop Collage Club at the end of this month. So, will I? Well, I'm not doing another month. I wonder if I should leave it up in case people still want to join. I'm not quite sure. No, I'll probably stop it. I am thinking about doing a bundle of the entire... No, I'm not doing that because they're all on Etsy. Don't worry about it. This is the last month. This is the last month. Save all your stuff. I'm going to make another video hopefully really soon to explain the sale that's going on Teachable. But just the long and short of it, there's a coupon code for 75% off. And it's Last Chance, LASTCHANCE, Last Chance, all capitals, no spaces. And that will get you 75% off all the courses in Teachable, but you have to download them all because once it's gone, they won't be around. And not just that, download all on your phone. That will only save it for offline viewing. That's not going to save it to your device. So once Teachable is gone, you won't have access to it there. Even though I know that says like a download all content button, as far as I'm aware, that just downloads it so that you can use it without the internet. And that saves it in the app. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can access that once my Teachable is gone. So you will have to use your personal computer, your desktop, your laptop, whatever you have, and save the content to your own personal devices. I've heard a million different things about how everyone does all of this. This is the best that I can offer. Honestly, I wish I could just keep Teachable up, but it's just priced me out at this point. So this is the only option. My intention is just to give you the last chance opportunity to get any of these workshops you might have wanted to try before they go away, because I don't know where they're going to go to. They're just going to live on my hard drives from now on. So I'd rather you have an option to get it. I know it's a pain to download and that there's no simpler way to do it. You do have to just kind of go through the course and save it all as you go through it. But if you can set aside some time, it shouldn't take more than an afternoon to get it downloaded if you've got some good internet speed. So just make sure you're aware of that. I don't want you to feel too irritated once you get in there and realize you have to download it all, but there is a lot of stuff. You can see Virtual Voyage 10 was huge. It was 5 full weeks of so many things, so it'll take you a minute to download it, but you have a couple of months to do it. Like I said, it will all officially go away in November, so I would say do it earlier than later. And yeah, I'll probably make another video just explaining all of that and talking about the Etsy sale, because that was truly insane. Thank you so much for being a part of Collage Club. I hope you enjoy the last month's set of printables and enjoy using them in your journals. I can't wait to see more of it. I can't wait to see what I end up doing with half this stuff, because I feel like I'm on a time crunch to use it all now. Not really. I mean, I can keep these in my folder for years, I guess. You know what I want to do? I want to get all those old numbers that I made out of paint. I want to make a whole page of 2s, because I stopped using them when I ran out of all the 2s, because I realized I would do the date with the year, or I just wanted to write the year a lot of times, and you really quickly run out of 2s when it's 2022. So we'll figure that out for myself eventually. I have no time to do that right now, but just a thought, another random thought. I guess I don't want to stop talking to you. Have a lovely day. I'll see you again hopefully soon. Goodbye.